All right, pre-show shenanigans. We got important things to cover right now. Obviously, half the world looks like Blade Runner, but that's the less important part. Top Gun Maverick movie review. I saw it over the weekend for the very first time. Oh my god! Wow, that was the movie of 2022. Probably the best. It is the best movie created since COVID. I would say that. And if you would compile like all of Squid Game just into a movie, then that would be the best movie since COVID. But
Like
it's one
also
of them too.
though with the Top Gun Maverick, the scene that's all of them on the beach and you have don't like whatever the One Republic song is, ain't a worry, like playing in the background. That's like one of the most iconic summer movie scenes I think that there ever has been.
Well, that too, but that scene I was more interested in the double offense football going on. When I first saw, I was like, "What the hell is going on?" And then Tom Cruise had some cheesy line explaining to it about, "Oh, you wanted a team, Lieutenant? You got it, Corporal, or whatever the hell his title was. I don't know."
Admiral, I think it was
Yeah,
Admiral.
probably that one. But let's just say let me give you a deep, in-depth review from someone who's never seen the first Top Gun, but read a Google synopsis right before watching Top Gun Maverick of the original Top Gun. First things first, all of Miles Teller's beef with Tom Cruise is misplaced. Okay. It was not Tom Cruise that got Goose killed. It was the Iceman. The Iceman is Rooster should have been beefing way more with the Iceman. Now, other thing with the Iceman, I am going to assume he was in some crash that screwed him up a little bit.
He
That's why
had
he was like
cancer,
typing. Okay, that was it.
throat
Well,
cancer.
this is the one thing that I just found interesting about that whole thing is what it seemed to me like the Iceman was well aware of Rooster beefing with Tom Cruise, but Iceman, I think you deserve a little bit of blame, a little bit of blame for Goose's death, just a teeny bit, okay? Based on the Wikipedia synopsis, which is definitely 100% accurate and very detailed, they said that Iceman's engine or something, he was ahead of Maverick and Goose, who were a duo. They were together in the plane, and Iceman was directly ahead of them, and his engine was like smoking or something, and that's what caused something, made them eject or led to them ejecting or something like that. That's on Iceman, okay? Iceman, okay, he's the problem here. But then again, Iceman is also the only reason that Tom Cruise was even in that position to interact with a Rooster in the first place. So then again, Iceman is the
Okay.
Iceman.
All right.
Like I can understand why he
All
has
right.
that name. But all in circle, all circle back and everything. I love how they start the mission with like 40 to 50 minutes left in the movie, okay?
It's one of the best, like
And
coolest
so
shot
so
things
they
there
they
is.
yeah, they get into their full-on dogfight thing, and this is my first reaction, okay? Immediately when they tell Hitman, I think
Hangman,
Hangman,
yes,
the
Hangman.
other guy, when they tell Hangman like, "Oh, sorry, Rooster is flying, you're not." I you instantly knew that he was somehow going to get involved and be in a plane. You knew it was going to happen somehow, okay? You knew it was going to happen, and we're going to get to it, but the second that the plane started going down, I knew Hangman was coming back to save the day.
So did you
It was
think Tom
so
Cruise
obvious.
actually died though when he took the missile to his plane first?
No, no. Like, I did not think anyone died for a split second. I thought for maybe a smidgen Rooster might die. And then I saw the parachute. Like, they didn't even give you a chance to really think he died. They instantly showed his parachute, which I was kind of disappointed in. Would have kind of preferred if they didn't show him parachuting and there was some mystery if, oh shit,
Panic.
Maverick just killed Goose and Rooster. Look at that. So I thought they could have, maybe heightened that up a little bit. But I knew the second those crashes went down, and then it turned into the freaking MW2 snow mission. Okay. Then it literally turned into Soap and Ghost or whatever the hell, Roach and Soap escaping through the snowy MW2 mission. That's literally what it turned into. I was like, holy shit, this is now a Call of Duty mission. Okay. And
it's when Call of Duty was good.
Magic. I didn't really have a problem with this part, but of course there just happens to be an F-14 or whatever.
The last hangar that's not blown up.
Right there, completely perfect, ready.
Well, let's also put it this way: they bombed the entire like runway area, and it's the one hangar, that's fine, and it's the last one
from the first Top.
Great movie though, absolutely phenomenal movie.
No, I'm not like that last part.
I'm not, honestly, it probably is the coolest like cinematography like I have ever seen. Like just getting shots of people in the cockpit.
I would also say that like cinematography alone is just made the movie so sick. Like,
oh yeah,
I could definitely see. Also, my one thought is when they were doing the training scenes of like right after they shoot the bombs and they have to go immediately back up, and it's like you'll have 10 G's of force. It'll feel like your spine is going down your anus or something like that. I could see like, like I thought for a sec, maybe Miles Teller's got a really nice acting face. But then I remembered seeing the clips of like Miles Teller, Tom Cruise being like, yeah, I threw up like 48 times in one day filming these scenes. I was like, okay, so I mean, maybe not 10 G's, but they were definitely doing some crazy shit up there.
They were pulling.
So
apparently Miles Teller, by the way, got really sick during shooting and found out that he had jet fuel in his bloodstream.
Yeah, no, I mean, adds up. I mean, Tom Cruise, you better get the take, God damn it. All right. He's not settling for a B film. But I also, while I don't know where I saw this, I think I saw it on Twitter. It was like an 8-minute video, and I will never actually watch an 8-minute video on Twitter, but this one I did, and it was like Tom Cruise doing his Mission Impossible stunt.
Yeah, with the bike,
like on a giant ramp.
Yeah,
with the bike
he was jumping off the mountain with the bike.
And seeing that, and my favorite is like his reaction after the first one. His immediate reaction is, yeah, I could definitely hang on to the bike a little bit longer.
He's like, let's do another. Let's do another. And everybody's like, God,
crazy, absolutely nuts.
It's like, Tom, come on.
But
man.
I mean, it probably explains why his movies. I think Top Gun Maverick did like 1.5 billion.
It did so. It
adds up. It makes sense. But yeah, Top Gun Maverick, definitely the best movie since COVID.
100%. In other news, before we get started,
half the world looks like Blade Runner.
Looks like Blade Runner, and even more importantly, I am recording this while sitting on a suitcase in a unfurnished house. So if there's any echo, I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, there's no big qualms there. That's all right, no worries. But yeah, half the world looks like Blade Runner right now. The views at Yankee Stadium, those are interesting. It looks like,
so apparently they
looks like the start of the next like Batman movie.
Gotham.
Yeah.
So apparently, the Yankees played yesterday in like the worst like air quality ever in like the United States, or like currently in the world, something like that. Just imagine they canceled their game today, but imagine if they trotted the Yankees out in that in literal Blade Runner conditions.
Pinstripes, you would not be able to see them. It would be very entertaining. I would also just think like
their lungs are gone after that game.
That as well, but let's talk about the important stuff here. Balls, would this juice the balls or deaden the balls?
Would you be able to see the balls?
That as well. So, but once again, let's talk about the important stuff. Exit velo here. So with the smoke in the air, exit velo, I would assume
smoke in the air
down. I'd assume it go down. The air's a little thicker. The maybe more air wind resistance. I'm no
I feel like it would deaden. I
scientist,
feel like it would
but
deaden them.
I would guess so too, but that's the more important aspect that we're looking at here, not like player health or anything. We got to look at the fan perspective, duh. So with that in mind, might have been some pretty cool pictures, but seriously though, it actually does look like the start of the next
that
Batman
those
movie.
pictures are going into like history books in like 20 years when your kids are going through like seventh grade US
and there'll be
history.
some propaganda saying this is what the world looked like for 3 years during COVID. It's like,
100%.
That's a revisionist history, but those pictures were like,
it's going to be
been
that
to New York,
picture
like,
next
twice in my life,
to,
but it looked interesting. That looked entertaining. I was like, this actually looks like Blade Runner.
yeah.
No,
Yeah, 100%.
It actually looked like somebody took.
Little
that
did you
and
know,
Photoshopped
George, what's his name? Christopher Nolan is shooting a new movie and just decided not to use CGI again. So he just decided to, make all of New York
memes,
just
some very funny memes on there. Like, you're an extra and you weren't informed that today was the explosion day. Just boom.
It would be
But
something
yeah,
Christopher Nolan.
that movie will also be pretty entertaining. But you know what? Enough of that. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a pretty good episode of the Waterboy podcast. Everett sitting on a suitcase, so like not the best. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But today it is episode 124.
Would this have been better than a car episode or worse than a car episode?
I kind of think the car episode probably would have made this better. Suitcase episode doesn't really roll off the tongue. Car episode though, we can get a car sponsor with that. Like, I know people at Chevy, so like we could have got something going there. Bag fumble, that's all right though. But Everett, the most important news to start today off, of course, Josh Allen is no, I'm kidding. All right. The important news of today. The last 24 hours have been very entertaining.
Even the last like 7 hours.
That as well. Yesterday, my night was ruined by the Dodgers. Maybe the worst loss. I would actually say the worst.
It was pretty heinous.
2020. Worst loss since
it was
COVID.
bad.
The worst thing I've ever seen. Jacob deGrom, Tommy John, career over. PGA and Live merge. Messi is now going to Inter Miami. Zion is dealing with a lot of things off the court. There are many things going on. Many things going on in the world across many different sports right
Chris
now.
Paul just got released.
Chris Paul also just got released, probably well deserved, but there are many shocking things going on. I'm just saying, July, it's about to heat up, Everett. People forget that July is low-key one of the best sports months of the year because of NBA free agency. Now, this year, it won't be quite as crazy, but 2019 NBA free agency might have been
that's something you'll be telling your like children
of all
about.
Time. That may have been the greatest.
Everybody had
week
that.
Of
That was Woj's last year of dominance.
2016 4th of July, absolutely phenomenal. Kevin Durant with the iconic my next chapter. Iconic. So July, although baseball might be the only thing on, a lot of exciting things.
Well, we'll have Kyrie, I think, is a free agent. James Harden, I believe, is a free agent. Is Kevin Durant a free agent again, or is he still signed?
He might, but
be.
It's not quite the same as in years past.
No,
there'll be some fun moves.
Finding out where LeBron and Kawhi are going, and then you get the PG trade. Like,
well, that was the craziest shit of all time. The Kawhi signed the Clippers, and then 10 minutes later, breaking news: the Clippers have traded for Paul George. I was literally sitting there like, there's no way that just happened. And that was, I don't know, 2 weeks after.
And on top of that, everybody was like, okay, so LeBron's going to the Lakers. Kawhi's got a huge connection with the Lakers. Like, what if they just set up Kawhi, LeBron, and AD mega team? And then it came in, Kawhi wants to be the 3 team or the big 3 killer. Like he wants to go against the big 3.
I'll be honest. There was a period of time where I actually thought it was going to be LeBron, Kawhi, and AD. I did run many 2K career like GM saves with that big 3, thinking that it would happen. Kawhi faked us out. He punked us. Like it was definitely Chris Broussard who broke this. I'm actually 95% sure it was him who said it, but he was the one who leaked Kawhi Leonard is like heavily leaning towards signing with the Los Angeles Lakers. I was like, there's no way. There's no way that this is happening. And keep in mind that was just coming off the Raptors ship. Kawhi Leonard was the most wanted man in the NBA essentially at the time, other than LeBron. So like everybody wanted Kawhi at that time. It might take a while for us to ever get that again, but July is going to be exciting. But you know what, we got to start with some hypocrisy in sports. Okay. Let's embrace debate here, Everett. Who is a worse person in sports? Roger Goodell or PGA Commissioner Jay Monahan? Who's worse? Who cares less about the player's safety? Now, keep in mind, Roger Goodell scheduled me on Thursday Night Football.
Player safety is one thing, but like the players themselves, like
just player outlook. Now, let me modify
player
from player safety to player success, the ability for your players to thrive in all aspects of life. Okay.
Look, if we're talking about player safety, Roger Goodell is he is.
I don't know, man. Jay Monahan made Phil Mickelson come out of that surgery.
Monahan though. I'm kidding. This is the thing. He was completely fine literally until, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, where they did this merger? Because apparently the PGA did not inform.
What do you mean completely fine?
Like there was not much backlash against him, is what I'm more so saying. Like,
ooh, whoa! I think you're mistaken about that, Mr. Monahan over here. Well, we don't need to get into the exacts, but let's just say he invoked some things to call out anyone who left the PGA Tour for LIV. My favorite quote is, "Have you ever had to apologize for playing on the PGA Tour?" That was amazing. That was phenomenal.
Well, I'm more so
guilting,
that's not
all of them.
That's not really like I'm discounting anything that relates to LIV. That's like, I'm just saying outside of the LIV, like there's not too much that's like Roger Goodell that has like a lot of controversial things.
Well, I think I personally, I'm not like reading up on golf all the time, but the one thing that I have been hearing is that the PGA clearly the PGA golfers 2 years ago were upset that they weren't getting paid enough. That's why a lot of them jumped to LIV. But the PGA has not really been adjusting their model properly in terms of breaking into this new era of modern sports and growing.
No, they haven't. But as a general note, the PGA completely screwed everybody, because the PGA golfers were not even informed of the merger until they saw it on Twitter.
My favorite was Colin Morikawa on Twitter tweeting out like, "Oh wow, just found that one out." That was great. Brooks also had a hilarious tweet this morning. It was very interesting how they found out. I mean, also, to be honest, now we can embrace this debate. What is more impressive? The PGA keeping this LIV merger under wraps, or the Big Ten keeping the USC UCLA move under wraps? What was more impressive? Because nobody saw either. Nobody knew anything.
PGA, but the thing, because USC UCLA, there were like rumblings right before it happened. There was
but not to Big Ten.
There were still rumblings that they were going.
People were just inkling.
There were absolutely
the only rumors was just conferences were going to change because the SEC.
Yeah, but still, there was an assumption there. Like there were some rumblings. People were thinking that could be the case with the PGA and LIV. There was nothing until it happened.
Yeah,
nobody knew. It was
actually
happening.
Yes, this was a fat Woj bomb to.
And for the fact that it's literally an entire sport essentially that's being affected by it, not just like a conference or a team or two. Like that is very impressive that we heard nothing, because it's an entire league that was changed essentially.
Yeah, poor Morikawa just figured out. I did want to say this in terms of all that though. Rory McIlroy, my heart goes out to you,
My
brother.
heart and Tiger too, man. 800 million.
Yeah, but I don't feel as bad for him as the other guys because I mean Tiger's a pretty wealthy dude, but like Hideki Matsuyama, who turned down 300 million, like ooh, that's
Yeah,
a
no,
dagger to
it
the
is. It
heart
is.
because he'll never come close to that money ever.
I feel
again,
like that they
100%.
have to do something to. I know they're not going to be able to give them the
Oh,
full amount of money,
no,
but they have to
no.
do something to it, man.
God,
They
no.
won't, but
They're
they
gonna
should.
increase the prize budget by 30%. I guarantee you that's what it's gonna be. Go out there, guys.
Go get him.
But with all that, I just interesting stuff. I also want to officially announce that I will consider getting back into golf myself. I'll consider it. I'm officially announcing it. I'll start considering getting back into golf. Just want to say that.
The Water Boys hit the links.
Just wanted to get that out there. But
Can
let's
go with
talk
our
about
unnamed
an L.
intern.
Let's talk about an L for Saudis. Messi turned down 1.6 billion to join Inter Miami instead. However, though, my king himself, N'Golo Kante, took an 100 million per year contract, I think, for 3 years to go to Saudi Arabia. And I think like Busquets, some other boys are about to jump
the
ship
prospective deal that Messi has with the MLS?
I think it's something about like he gets some stake or ownership in the club. But
I'm pretty sure he gets like
forget that
7%.
deal.
I think he gets like 7% of the MLS.
Maybe that is correct. If that's correct, that is insane. Let's double check that one. I'm not sure if he's getting 7% of the MLS effort. That is a substantial amount, but
I will double check. I will double check it, but I did see something regarding that.
It would be very very entertaining if he just became like OG Pete Rose and just became the player manager of Inter Miami. But some fun little facts, Everett. Inter Miami are currently in last place of the MLS Eastern.
Okay, I have it.
The full contract details.
This is kind of like the accessory details here, okay? So included in Messi's deal is a percentage of subscriptions to the MLS season pass from Apple TV, which are paid directly by Apple themselves, a percentage of Inter Miami shirt sales directly from Adidas, and a possibility of acquiring an entire MLS franchise at the end of his career.
Oh, I think David Beckham did the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, because when David Beckham joined Galaxy, that's how he got Inter Miami.
It was by coming there, and they just gave him.
David Beckham owns Inter Miami for just 25 million.
I did not know that, but it's good to know.
Messi though, Messi. I mean, I think Messi should really just say screw it and just start up like LA Academy. Let's just have 3 LA teams. Like screw it. Why not?
I would.
So yeah, very.
Messi's not going to want to be setting up a team in like the middle.
Well, I mean, realistically, Messi would live in Miami. Yeah,
but I mean, like Messi's not going to start the South Dakota Pioneers soccer club.
Oh, jinkies, no. I also don't think that the South Dakota Soccer Club would even get 1,000 people to show up to the games. But fun fact of the day, Inter Miami currently last place of MLS Eastern Conference, but this is American soccer. This isn't European soccer. Regular season doesn't matter. So if you finish first place regular season, you don't win anything. It's all about the MLS Cup, of course, the famous MLS Cup, the world-renowned MLS Cup that we all tune into every single year when it's played in. Exactly. That's how famous it is. It's played every year in
sometime around now.
Oh no.
And like,
no,
it's like October. I think it's like October.
I would guess it's later in the year. But all Messi has to do is climb out of 15th place. I'm gonna guess it's 8th place to qualify. I don't know. But let's say it's 8th. He just needs to get to 8th. And if Messi wins this MLS Cup, joining Inter Miami halfway through the year, then Messi will already tie Aaron Rodgers legacy-wise when it comes to American sports championships. He'll already tie Aaron Rodgers. He'll already, put himself in that GOAT debate case when it comes to American sports. So let's just say Messi, he really came to America to just even enhance his legacy even further. Like, you thought a World Cup was important? No. MLS Cup. That is how you're going to consider yourself the GOAT. That's
My
how you
man's
lock
trying to
yourself
get
in
the
as GOAT.
trifecta. That's what's really going on here.
Yeah, he's going to win a double of his own. Well, PSG won the league. He'll win a triple of his own.
Yeah,
he's going to win a triple on his own. So I think Messi right now, what he's doing, it's all about the legacy here. It's all about the legacy. Come to the States, put MLS on the map, and get Inter Miami into the new Super Conference when they make that with like all the really sick teams. When they try to do that, let's get Inter Miami in there too. But yeah, that's enough.
Okay,
that's enough on
that. Speaking of football, but the kind that is relevant in America, college football. So this came out earlier today. This is from multiple sources, but specifically the College Football Players Association. They are organizing a boycott against college football players joining the EA NCAA football game that's coming out next summer, because they don't think that a payout of $500 is enough of a reward for athletes to join a game where the company will be making much more money off of their name and likeness. So on one hand, I get that. Obviously, if I'm a player, I want to make way more, especially if I'm a top player, if it's an NIL deal. But also keep in mind, a lot of players, like I think Vanderbilt's quarterback said that he would literally do the game for free if they just get his speed right. Like, you could pay him like $10. And
just let me have input.
Just let me be like, he's like, you can give me $10 and I'll be happy to be in this game.
Yeah, no. I think it varies. Like for like walk-ons, for example, I think
they'd just be happy to be in.
Hell yeah. They'd be like 500 and I'm in the game. Whoa, the 500. Hell yeah.
They'd be like, I would have just done it if you just asked me to do it for free, but the 500's great.
I can understand for certain players. I can get
like if I'm Caleb, I don't know how it's gonna work if they're doing the year before or they're doing like the next season's kind of
they'll
stats.
do it the next.
So
like Caleb,
I've heard it both. I've heard it both ways, but let's just say Caleb Williams was in the game, right? Let's just say he was in the game.
Yeah.
I would be like, if I'm him, I'd be like, well, $500 for like my name, you're gonna make a lot more money off it because I'm about to be like the #1 overall pick. That, like, I kind of get that, but also I saw this number on it. But in order to give every player like $500 to be in the game, EA will be paying out over $5 million.
So yeah, there's that too. But then the question brings up, let's just remind ourselves how much money EA's made off of packs. And I know FIFA's their big money maker, but let's just look at Madden, how much money they made off that. They can afford to pay more to the players. And I would also get now I understand there are way less NFL players to pay than college players.
I don't know if they even pay NFL because they just pay the
I'm pretty sure they do.
I think the NFL owns the rights to their
I'm pretty sure. I like know players get paid for that, but I remember reading an interview or hearing an interview from a guy saying like, yeah, like once a month I'll just get a check like for my Madden licensing. So they get something. It's not like a lot. And I don't think the NFL players like really care that much. They're already making
unless you're like a lower tiered
college. I mean, I can understand the debate a little bit. Like, let's just say, oh yeah, this game's not going to come out 2024, whatever.
That's next summer. I'm pretty sure the big reason why
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if it.
The big reason why it was delayed was fully because they were trying to get name and likeness. But also, imagine if this game does end up getting scrapped for it. EA might actually go underwater. EA might never sell a game again.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but like, I wouldn't be that shocked.
Their stock would tank overnight.
Maybe like I I feel like, I mean, I care a lot about NCAA football. Like up until like 2 years ago when I got the Red Ring of Death, I was still playing NCAA 14 over other things. But I feel like it's a relatively niche group that plays NCAA. Loud
Honestly,
community,
I don't
loud
think.
community, but I don't think it's like
I think the
that
group is a
crazy.
lot bigger. I think the group's a lot bigger than you think it is. I think a
I
lot more
think it's
people.
I think it's very loud and vocal, but I don't think
But
it's like,
I think a lot more people, a lot of kids who are like middle school or something right now who like are really into college football and football have been hearing about this game. They never got to
well,
experience until they're like
I can
14.
understand. Well,
And
that
like
I can understand the hype, but the current 14-year-olds will not influence the market in any way, shape, or form. I can understand that letdown though, but there's no way in hell that
they're
any
also just
14 or 13-year-old kid right now is like, oh, let me go boot up an Xbox 360, which to them is like
a fossil.
an Xbox 360. Oh my god, that makes me feel
I
so
still
old.
have mine, but mine is still alive and well, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god, the current 6th, 7th graders, they might even view like a PS4 as a little bit like old.
My PS4, the one that like
That's
I
nuts.
still
That's
have it.
crazy
I
to
got
think
the
about.
one that came out like when the PS4 first came out. I got like the Destiny bundle. My PS4 is white and it sounds like a jet engine when I turn it on.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That thing is an Apache attack helicopter every time you boot it up. And especially if you play Call of Duty on that thing.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah.
You would think that you're flying the F-14 from Top Gun Maverick. But
A good transition point though, talking about
yeah.
EA, because EA would literally be the only company to hype a game up this far, gets people so happy, and then tear it all away.
I'll still never forget that tweet. I'll never forget it. Just college football is coming back. I'm just like, oh, you can't do that to me on like a Tuesday. You cannot do that to me.
Midway through finals, like you can't.
Yeah, it was like the middle of April 2021.
Yeah, it was like
I'm
April.
like,
Like, whoa.
what? Oh my god! Holy shit!
Okay, talking about EA though, obviously Madden was not released today, but an initial trailer and the cover athlete were both released. Cover athlete being Josh Allen, one Joshua Allen, and the video showing Kirk Cousins throwing a pick six, because why not kick us while we're down, I guess.
They had that. They also had Patrick Queen getting absolutely ran over by Josh Allen. Yeah, they did some people dirty. Also important to notice, the Arizona Cardinals uniform was not updated in the trailer. So what makes you think they actually updated anything about the game?
Nothing.
I know they didn't.
Nothing.
They've been working on their new Ultimate Team card promos. So that's what they've been doing all summer.
I have
make
zero
them a lot
faith.
of money, and I can understand why they're doing it.
I have zero faith in EA to actually have made changes. I looked at the panel like that they did, like they have a whole like site about like what they've added. I looked at franchise mode. They added a couple things, but I still feel like this is about to be basically the same thing, just reskin. They're like, we changed some logos. You can now make like, you can make some new teams if you relocate and stuff. I guarantee you, it's still gonna be. It's not gonna be anything that where you can like custom made teams. You're still gonna be having like to choose the logo.
I mean,
like from
I
a
just
preset,
want to be
like,
able to change the Washington name back to the Washington football team. That's all I ask. That's the only feature I want. Will we get that? Of course not. But that's all I want. But
let me play my team in Hawaii at Aloha Stadium for
I asked you this, Everett. I ask you this. Let me ask you this. I ask you this. Josh Allen, cover Madden 24, Madden cursed. We've obviously been talking about this forever. How much more cursed could Josh Allen and the Bills possibly get, considering their recent track record of postseason?
Stephon Diggs requests a trade. Von Miller gets hurt at the start of the season. Sean McDermott gets fired. Josh Allen tears something, ends his career with an injury.
Oh wow. Okay, so
there's a lot of things.
Went the dark route. So
never win a Super Bowl with Josh Allen. It's just a long-term curse.
Let's just say, in terms of this selection, to give this one to Josh Allen, I thought it was interesting. I was really thinking it was gonna be Jalen Hurts.
I thought it was going to be Justin Jefferson.
That could have been it
Because
as
just
well.
the sheer popularity of Justin Jefferson across every fan base.
Joe Burrow, I think, would have made more sense than Josh Allen too. But hey, we all make our decisions. I mean, shit. To be honest,
I'm not gonna lie.
I even would have expected Patrick Mahomes on it again over
if they
Josh
do
Allen.
if they do a Joe Burrow cover, it needs to be like one of those like retro Madden 2005 colors where it's like the splash of color behind the player running. If you remember, like they had the Barry
Yes, I
Sanders
know
like
what
the
you're
blue,
talking about.
or Peyton Hillis has
And
like the orange splash in the
I
back.
also loved those covers. Those
Yeah,
were
that's
the
what Madden
NCAA covers
should
were
be.
also amazing.
That's
too.
what Madden covers should be. I don't like the new one, like the modernized one. No, give me the retro covers.
Yeah, the new ones are a little weird. They
Also,
have, like,
the biggest thing that we have to
square pictures all on different like
sides,
areas.
like it's just
really
like
doesn't look
so
good,
weird.
But like
We also have to remember, by the way,
they wanna
next year will be Madden 25 if EA doesn't lose the rights to it. Madden 25 already exists.
Oh, that is true. Madden 25 came out like 12 years ago. So
2014.
So
maybe they strategically planned this though. So when they released Madden 25 in 2014, they knew they were going to get fired from the rights of NFL football.
I mean, there's
in 2025.
Like
so,
there's a very good chance. EA Football 25 is going to be really, really cool. That just doesn't sell the same.
It would be 2K NFL 2025. It's my guess if EA gets fired.
Well, this is
NFL 2K25.
If I have this correct, it's the licensing of the Madden title that EA's losing.
No, it's the licensing to the NFL.
And now I know that they have exclusive rights to the NFL, but I thought they were just losing the name Madden.
No, they're not losing the name Madden. I don't know. But the bigger thing that's the jeopardy is losing the licensing deal.
Well,
with
if they're not the exclusive licensing for NFL video games, that's the biggest dub that could possibly happen.
They're currently
video games.
They currently are. They should not be, but it's whatever. Okay. So one other thing that I had today, unless you want to talk about Madden anymore.
No, I'm good. I am good. That game sucks.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we probably will be doing a Madden league when it comes out.
We'll consider.
Yeah, we'll consider. If you guys want us to, comment. Okay, so we have an NFL records prediction segment that we'll wrap up the episode with. But before that, I just wanted to talk about a recent trade rumor that's come about within like the last 2 hours. Obviously, everybody's heard about Dalvin Cook's trade rumors going to the Dolphins or the Bills or the Cowboys, anything like that. There are now trade rumors surrounding Danielle Hunter, and teams are very interested in Danielle Hunter because he's only 5.5 against the cap this year. Would like a restructure. Obviously, he's a great player. I think he had like 13 sacks last year, 12 and a half sacks last year. Great athlete, and is pretty young. So as a Vikings fan, I'd like to see him get restructured, but and stay on the team. But if he's gonna go, I'm gonna need a first and a third for him. You're gonna have to give me a Bradley Chubb kind of deal, and I think that that's fair, a first and a third, and can use that to go get Caleb next year. But that's the only way that I think that he's gonna be gone. I think that's the value that you're gonna need to give the Vikings in order to get Danielle Hunter. So I don't really know where Grant just went. He might be army crawling on the ground or something, but
no, had to go toss something in the charger real quick. But in terms of Danielle Hunter, I know him best from a Madden save that we did. That's my best memory of Danielle Hunter, to be completely honest with you. Past few years have been a little bit quiet, but I do think you can still get a lot for him, considering that I think Bradley Chubb's hella overrated. Also, any former Bronco I just hate on. But if the Dolphins, they got a first for the Broncos
gave up a first, yeah.
Chubb. So Vikings are going to get a first two for him if they want. But Everett, if you guys do that and give up Danielle, now tell me the Vikings season outlook, revised season outlook.
Probably
You're not
9 and
expecting to win a playoff game.
probably 9 and 8
right?
or 8 and 9. But the thing is like I still
But that's okay.
Danielle
You don't really
Hunter's
care.
Danielle
It's not like
Hunter
you're winning this year.
Danielle Hunter makes us an impact on the defense, but the issue is the defense is already so bad to the point where that impact really doesn't matter. So honestly, I think that they can still have a 10-7 record. I think it's going to be one of those two.
I
It's going to
do
be 8 and
fear
9
though,
to 10 and
Everett,
7.
I do fear though, if we get rid of Danielle, a piece on defense, a big piece, and then we add Caleb. Now, this is what I fear. You might be assembling USC Oklahoma. You might you might be assembling a Big 12 team here, Everett, which would be great spectator wise, phenomenal fantasy wise. Trust me, you guys will be the most talked about.
Here's the thing: is the
defense.
The defense is
greatest show on turf on offense.
The defense is going to be developing because here's the thing too, though, and I said this before. If Brian Flores gets hired to be a head coach somewhere, okay, first of all, the Vikings will get a comp pick for that. But secondly, if he gets hired to be a head coach somewhere, that means that the defense for the Vikings has improved significantly. If he's still on the team, that means it hasn't significantly improved, but that means he's probably still doing a pretty good job because it's Brian Flores. So there's not really a losing situation when it comes to the defense being able to improve. It's just a matter of the players that they get and how long that they take to develop. But I think that it will happen. And I think that there's a lot of young guys on the team that are going to start playing pretty well. It's just a matter of injuries and concussions, because that's been the issue with the rookies over the last season.
All right. You guys heard it here first. Brian Flores to the moon. Buy the stock now. Vikings are on the up. We don't need him. One thing that I am also thinking about, a lot of teams would probably be in the market for Danielle Hunter. That would make sense. I think one team that could actually end up like going after that could be the Chiefs.
Do they have anything to give? Like, I think the Vikings are.
Well, I don't think you'd want their first.
Yeah, that's the issue. I think the Vikings
giving up.
The Vikings probably want to. I mean, Kwesi might not really care. He might just see the value in it. But if I'm the Vikings, if it's me as the GM, I'm not trading Danielle for a team that I know is going to be going to the playoffs. I want that kind of borderline, like maybe give it to the Panthers or something like that.
We'll see if they'd be willing to give up a first for him. Panthers, it'd be very funny if they just had Brian Burns and Danielle Hunter.
They'd be a great one too.
Pass rush duos in the league, but like they'd still go like 7-10, and maybe they could compete in like 2 years. I mean, you know what? I'm not ruling that one off. Actually, I think Panthers could actually be a little interesting. That one.
Yeah, we'll get into that here in a minute.
We'll see if they want to actually give that one up though.
I could see the Patriots.
First.
The Patriots could be interested. The Chargers might be interested in a Danielle trade. I know you have Khalil, but
check in week 4. We'll probably need a pass rusher. So yeah.
Broncos with Sean Payton, you can get your edge back.
Maybe. I think the Broncos got a nice little pass rush set up. One of my breakout
Saints. I could see a Saints be interested because they only have Cam Jordan. They don't really have an outside piece.
They could also go for it too. Yeah, you know, salary cap doesn't matter, and Danielle is getting like 5 this year, but I would guess that whoever trades for Danielle would want to re-sign him.
Yeah. The Bengals or the Jags, one of those teams might be interested.
Bengals could maybe work. Well, they have Hendrickson and Hubbard, probably not. But who knows? Maybe they want to get rid of one of those. We'll see. A lot of things to go around here. A lot of things that could happen. But I'm curious about the NFL season schedule breakdown, Everett. We could talk about Jacob deGrom's career being done or Zion's hairy situation right now, but I think we should talk about the NFL potential schedule breakdown.
Okay, so
tell me just winners of the divisions real quick and
so teams. I will give you. You just want that, or you want? I have the whole.
I can give you
1 through 4 for every division.
we can do that too. I just feel like I'll just start losing track, but we can do that
Okay.
too.
I'll give you the division winners and the wild card
And
teams.
then we'll go in.
Okay. So here are the division winners. All right. 49ers, Eagles, Vikings, and Saints in the NFC. And in the AFC, we have the Bengals, Dolphins, Chiefs, and Jaguars. Wild card teams are the Cowboys, Lions, and Giants. And then the AFC, it's the Bills, the Jets, and the Chargers.
So Giants back in. Say the AFC again.
Wild
Jets,
card
Bills,
teams
and Chargers.
Wild card teams are the Bills, the Jets, and the Chargers.
So AFC B stacked up. I have a feeling, overall, I'd say a lot of those are a lot of favorites. I don't know who it's gonna be. I'm just excited to see which team just says screw it and just wins their division this year.
So here's where our standings are. Let's look at the interesting races. Okay, let's look at the AFC East, the AFC West. All right, let's look at these two teams. We can talk about the NFC North in a little bit. But with the AFC East, this is the way the records stand out. Okay, Dolphins go 12-5, and the Bills and the Jets tie at 11-6.
12-5. Dolphins. Oh my!
And the Bills and the
Can we
Jets
get a
tie
breakdown on the Dolphins' schedule. Actually,
the Bills and Jets tie at 11-6. So it's a 1-game swing for first place there. Yeah, but we can go through that. So the Dolphins, you're gonna have to look at their opponents because I don't have them listed. I just have the records. So you might want to pull up their schedule for me on ESPN or whatever platform you'd like to use.
Just making sure all the numbers add up, right?
Yes, all the numbers add up.
Okay. It'd be very funny if there were 8 teams with 12 wins.
All the numbers add up.
Okay.
So looking at the Dolphins schedule, I don't have it pulled up. You're gonna have to pull it up for me. Dolphins start off 3-0, a nice hot 3-0 start to the season. Oh, sorry, hold on, I'm missing one game. All right, there we go. The Dolphins start off a hot 3-0 on the season, and yes, I know you're playing them, but unfortunately, Chargers are losing that first game. So 3-0, first loss is week 4. Week 5, pick up another win. Week 6, pick up another win. Week 7, L. Week 8, L. Week 9 is a win. Then you have bye week. So bye week, we're 6-3. All right.
I mean, how confident are we in the Dolphins beating the Chiefs in Germany? I think. How confident are we in that?
It's dependent fully on injury, but let's say the entire team is healthy. Let's say we have a healthy Tyreek, a
Germany
healthy Waddle.
Game. Remember,
if we have a healthy Tyreek and a healthy Waddle
versus Chiefs,
and there's also no home field advantage for the Chiefs being an Arrowhead, I like it. Dolphins.
Oh, yikes. That's actually a home game for the Dolphins. Damn.
No, I thought it was going to be it was supposed to be in.
It says versus Chiefs. Well, regardless.
Well,
both teams.
Anyways, coming out of the bye, Dolphins 7-3, 8-3, 8-4, 9-4, 10-4, 10-5. 11-5 and 12-5 to end the season. 12-5, I believe that last game of the season is versus
the Buffalo Bills.
So that is for the division. That last game of the year of the season is for the NFC Beast. And Dolphins come out on top. And the reason I'm thinking that is thinking
you just said they'd lose that last one to make it 12-5. I think they would have clinched the week before, have nothing to play for, and rest their players in that last week against the Bills.
They end up 11-5 in week 17, which is tied with the Bills at 11-5, and then week 18 they win the matchup between the Bills and the Dolphins, going 12-5. Beating the Chiefs by that one game, which is the division clinching win over the Bills.
Okay, I have a slight. I'm very interested to see how you were able to concoct all of these together. But okay, Dolphins 12-5. We'll roll with that. What about what will be the 5 worst teams in the NFL this year?
5 worst teams in the NFL this year. Bucks at 3-14, Cardinals at 3-14, Colts at 3-14, Packers at 5-12, and Raiders at 5-12.
Okay. Did you say Raiders?
Raiders are on there. Raiders at 5-12, Packers 5-12, Colts, Cardinals, and
Colts as well.
Bucks. Colts, Cardinals, and Bucks all 3-14.
Okay. Those would probably add up and make sense. Is there any chance that what NFC South team do you have worse? Was that Panthers?
NFC South, the Bucks is the worst team at 3-14, followed by the Panthers at 5-12. Falcons are 8-9, and Saints are 10-7.
10-7 New Orleans. That could be very entertaining.
But it's not a respectable 10-7. It's like I'm playing against some of the worst teams in the conference. 10-7.
Dude, who are the NFC South cross division?
That I do not have the opponents fully listed here. But it is some easy teams.
The AFC South. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
there's gonna be someone in the South this year, and it could just end up being the Jags or someone that'll get 11 wins.
The Jags are 11-6.
They have the easiest cross everything.
The Jags go 11-6 in this.
Might need to pause the pod for a sec here. All right. So, pardon the interruption. My son Jeremy, he got out of the cage. Had to lock him back in there. Little Jeremy, that rascal. But in terms of some overall divisions, what do you think is a surprising division that could take the league by storm? Do you think in AFC North, reemergence could happen? NFC West maybe put themselves on the map. Or is it just going to be the East?
I'll go, if you can keep track. I'm going to tell you where kind of we're standing here. Right, AFC North, the Bengals win that 13-4, tied for the best record in the league at 13-4 with the 49ers. Ravens and Browns end up both being 9-8, and the Steelers go 8-9, ending Mike Tomlin's career list of seasons with over 500 wins. NFC West, 49ers obviously are tied for the regular season wins title. Seahawks fall out at 9-8. Rams are bad 5-12, and Cardinals are bad 3-14. So the biggest thing is, the only divisions where we have seen multiple teams come out to make the playoffs is the NFC East, with the Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants all having over 10 wins. We have the NFC North with 2 teams coming out at 10-7. The AFC West has 2 teams coming out with both over 10 wins. And the AFC East has 3 teams coming out with 11 or more wins. So I think that the division that takes the league by storm this year is one that's kind of expected, and that's the AFC East. But there obviously is there's room to see how things work with injuries and everything, because the season never really ends up with the way people expect it to go.
Yeah. So both of the beasts, they're going to be clashing with each other for their cross-conference division little series this year. Another thing that I think is kind of horseshit when it came to the scheduling, I'm pretty sure the Chargers, we got matched up with Dolphins, Ravens, and a bunch of other different AFC teams. Here's something to do with being a wild card team.
Here's the interesting thing, by the way. So
I think that has anything to do with it.
This is 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Okay, so at week 14, the AFC West has a 3-way tie for first place in the division at week 14. We have 3 teams, the Chiefs, Chargers, and Broncos, all at 8-5 at week 14. Going through the rest of the season, obviously the Broncos kind of fall off a bit. They end up going 9-8 and lose out on the division. But the interesting thing is, in week 18, there is a chance that the Chiefs and the Chargers both tie to to tie for the division, which I don't really know how the tiebreaker will work out because I didn't have to do the math. But
yeah, after head-to-head, does it go to what?
it's division wins, interdivision wins, I'm pretty sure, or it's common opponents. It's one or the other. But unfortunately, it does not happen. So still make the playoffs, but no division title for the Chargers this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting that anyway. It's a little tough to knock off.
But they do go 10-7, like we both were saying. So
yeah, I'm just very excited for this football season. It's creeping up on us slowly but surely. We'll get there shortly, guys. It is another interesting thing that I'm looking at for this opening schedule. There's some nice opening week matchups. I like.
there's
Lions,
some incredible.
Chiefs. Dolphins Chargers is fun. Bengals Browns, always a banger. I mean, you guys get a cupcake. You guys get Tampa Bay week 1. Fucking
Baker Mayfield. If the Vikings lose week 1 versus the Bucks, the season's
my
over.
preseason upset of the week: Tennessee over New Orleans week 1 in New Orleans. That's my.
You gotta give it to them.
I'm getting
Derrick
out
Henry,
there right
Derrick
now.
Henry is healthy, and I mean, that's until
Tennessee.
Tajay just usurps him. So
give me Tennessee in that game. Oh, San Fran at Pittsburgh game 1. Give me Pittsburgh. Remember when San Fran lost to Chicago week 1 last year? San Fran.
Anything could happen. Well, no, they had Trey Lance starting week 1 last year, and he tore his ACL halfway through that.
Anything can happen, and they were also playing in like the worst conditions I've ever seen in my life. But anything can happen week 1. We throw everything out the window.
Apparently, Dameon Pierce has been.
Thank God, Everett. Things are back to normal. We have Dallas Giants on Sunday Night Football opening week. I feel like that's always the first Sunday Night Football of the year, but
it's like Dallas some team. Like the Bears always are like the first team to open up. It's like the Bears Packers or Bears Chiefs or like something like that.
I don't know why I just have vivid memories. Every week 1, you just got Cowboys Giants Sunday Night Football. Like I don't know why. It's just there. It's just an iconic thing. But yeah. NFL season's already.
Can we just also talk about, by the way, that the amount of apparently gambling that's been going on inside the NFL is like absurd.
Yeah, some more gambling news with the Colts now. You know what? In my opinion, we've already aired out our opinions on gambling. I just think, you know what? J-Mo did nothing wrong. You know, at the end of the day, J-Mo did nothing wrong. That's my take on the Colts situation. J-Mo did nothing wrong. So that's all I got.
I'm remembering properly. That is why he's suspended.
J-Mo? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It would be very funny if like it was actually for PEDs and they just like said it was
put it on the down
to protect his legacy.
Keep it on the DL.
Yeah. But oh my God, Jameson Williams. Boy, is next year going to be fun if they throw him the ball. Other than that, though, Everett, I guess maybe we could send off Jacob deGrom with these last couple of minutes here.
Yeah, go ahead. You can do it.
I'll give a send off to Jacob deGrom. Yeah. So Jacob deGrom, my earliest memory for him back in 2014, NLDS Mets versus Dodgers game 1 in LA. Jacob deGrom, I swear to God, went 7 innings, 1 hit. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. That's how I was introduced to Jacob deGrom. That was back when he had his long hair too. Jacob deGrom, we were wondering a little bit about it yesterday. How great would he be if he were somehow able to have a titanium arm and elbow and be able to pitch 32 games every year? I think he actually might have been able to rack up like 4
wins.
Yeah, healthy. 500 is unreal. Like that's not possible because Cy Young was starting 50 games a year.
Well, it also seems like Cy Young was probably just playing through a torn UCL.
That, and he might have legitimately be pitching against plumbers off, like legit, like.
Yeah, he's not playing against Luis Arias, so
there may have been a healthy amount of people that maybe picked up a bat within the last.
Oh no, he was playing against Mario, so
yeah, he was probably not playing real people. You know, I'll give him some respect though. Maybe there was like 8 hitters in the league that were tough outs, but you got to give some respect there where credit is due. But Jacob deGrom, when healthy, the 2021 season, he only pitched 90 innings, but he had a 1.08 ERA and a 0.5 WHIP. Now, if he were to somehow pitch that whole season, maybe he was putting so much stress on his slider in order to get that 0.5 WHIP that it was unsustainable. But let's say he somehow was able to pitch that whole season. That may have been the greatest season ever by a pitcher if he was able to stay healthy that whole year. Those numbers are some of the most
strikeout rate,
in my life.
Disgusting.
Averages 1 run per 9 innings pitched. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. So Jacob deGrom, it's sad to see it, really, considering how
it sucks for him. Yeah.
One thing to say though is it's kind of impressive considering that Clayton Kershaw, though he's had his injury problems too.
He's doubled.
Not
I
like
think
that.
He's doubled his wins.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
I believe he's doubled
and his innings.
deGrom's wins. Yeah.
He's doubled his innings too, and he started pitching before deGrom. So Clayton Kershaw, the longevity factor is like truly amazing.
And we were talking about this in the last episode, but that also shows you how it's impossible to break Cy Young's record.
Yeah, I literally think the new benchmark is just 200 wins. Like that is considered a Hall of Fame career, which it definitely is.
Somebody will be able to break the career ERA record before the 400 wins.
Yeah, I do not know what the career ERA record is. I mean, I could look up all-time career MLB ERA leader starting pitchers. Because I bet Mariano Rivera's is probably like a 1.3. I don't know. Oh, yikes. That one might be hard to touch. Ed Walsh, 1.8 career ERA. That might be difficult to break. But
I think it's less difficult than getting 400 wins.
More possible.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying.
Definitely less difficult, more possible. That is true. Both very unbreakable. That's hilarious. These records are just stupid.
This is why records that are like over 60, 70 years old should just not be counted. And the same thing goes like 70 years.
Clayton Kershaw has a lower career ERA than Jacob deGrom. So
70 years from right now, if somebody sets some record in the NFL or MLB or whatever, 70 years from now, the same thing applies. That record should not matter anymore.
It's also like Jacob deGrom will not make the Hall of Fame.
No, he won't.
Doesn't have the career, which is just crazy to think.
It's one of those things where he's going to be
best pitchers.
He will end up being one of those trivia. He's going to end up like a trivia question, like Le'Veon Bell, like David Johnson, and it's going to suck.
Fantasy running back.
It's going to suck. Literally, it's what it's going to end up being.
And I mean, being completely honest, those fantasy 1-year wonder running backs will probably be remembered more among like the general.
Like public. Peyton Hillis might be remembered more than
maybe.
But as a trivia question, they're on like the same.
I would say like a Le'Veon Bell, David Johnson, no, but like a Le'Veon Bell, Todd Gurley too. I think they might outlive
Zeke.
Well, Zeke, of course.
Yeah.
It's just deGrom. Damn, that sucks for deGrom. Sucks for deGrom. But God, yeah, it is a shame. It is a shame to think about what's going on, but hey, man,
we have Bobby Miller. That's all that matters.
Yeah, let's segue this to
Bobby
Miller segment. But yeah,
okay, well,
bit of a big time day. Top Gun Maverick, greatest movie since COVID. Messi's gonna tie Aaron Rodgers pretty soon here when it comes to USC legacy debates. But next week there's gonna be a lot on the menu, Everett. A lot of things are going to be happening over the next few days here, coming up soon. The Ohio State rumors are heating up. A lot of big things.
I will have a desk, hopefully. Big moves.
No promises though on the desk.
No promises. So, it might be a car episode. But with that, my butt cheeks are getting kind of tired from sitting on this piece of luggage. So
Fair enough.
With that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening. Rate us 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at Waterboy Pod. Make sure to follow me and Grant at Everett Takes and at Waterboy Grant, especially if you want to see Grant sing Jason Derulo. What you say? Make sure to DM him on Twitter. But with that, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Waterboy's out.